It's not right.
I already.
Hello. Hello. I think we may be having a little technical difficulty.
Hello, hello, hello. We're back.
Your girl. Personal with Latonya
And
and
hi, celebrity media. We're back.
everybody. Hello, hello. Gosh, we love you all so much for tuning in. We are so excited.
Yes,
Hi, Ray.
yes. Hi, Tanya. Love you.
You look beautiful, sweetheart. So
Thank
you
you.
guys,
You do too.
thank, thank you, my love. We are so excited right now. Been waiting a while for our sis. Oh my gosh. We have the lovely, beautiful Ray.
We have. Oh, well, wait. It's elevation. What about elevation? We are going to be. She is going to be encouraging the nation. Her name
Yes.
is Bernadette, right? Clark.
Yes. I'm sorry.
That's right. Hey, hi,
Right,
Bernadette.
exactly. And yes, here she is. And she's going to tell the world all about her and what she does. Attorney Bernadette, motivational speaker. We're excited about that too. Hey.
Hi, family. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
We are
Our pleasure. We
yes, with
yeah.
elevation, with our elevation evenings. This is going to be so amazing. We love you and we thank you so
Guys
much.
better get to her. Yes.
Tell everybody about
You
you.
guys
Tell
better get
everybody
used to her because
what you're doing.
Okay, excellent. Well, then I'm going to actually start, and then somewhere in the middle, I'll tell you a little bit about who I am. So here's what I want to start with, especially since what we're talking about today is elevating and elevation evenings and what this is all about. But I want to talk to the women out there for a second because historically, I grew up being taught that men were the breadwinners while watching my mother go to work every single day to put food on the table. I grew up being taught that men were the heads of the households, right? Yet many tax returns across America from single mothers are telling a different story. Y'all know what that's like. Y'all are checking the box all the time that you are the head of the household. I grew up being taught that men were to be the spiritual head, the financial head, the emotional head, the physical head, our covering, y'all. And while all those things are indeed supposed to be true, here's a fact. 70% of African American homes are single parent homes. 40% of Hispanic homes are single parent homes. 24% of non-Hispanic white homes are single parent homes. Over the years, the roles have shifted, and we as women have found ourselves in a little bit of a precarious position. That position is called elevated. So let's talk a little bit about the backstory. My name is Bernadette. I was born on the west side of Chicago to a mother who was married at the time that she gave birth to me and my brother. But her marriage, unfortunately, she was married to someone who was an alcoholic. She was married to someone who battled addiction. And at some point, she made a decision that she had to do what was best for me and my brother. So then comes the divorce. So before I'm even 4 or 5 years old, we've witnessed some things and seen some things, and now we're a member of that product we just talked about, which is that single family household. She moved us to the suburbs. Hello to all my people from the Brook. I'm a Brookie from Bowling Brook High School out there in Illinois. I want to give y'all a special shout out tonight. But I'm also a first
Yes.
generation college student, guys. I'm a first generation college student. Let me tell you how green I was. I'm just going to keep it 100. Let me tell you how green I was. So
Come on.
I applied to Howard University, y'all. And I had a friend, Sean McCray from Bowling Brook, who had gone off to Howard. And I remember I could have went to school in Illinois on a full scholarship. I had great grades, y'all. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't do that because I heard my mother on the telephone talking about how she was going to come visit me every weekend. And I was like, we're not doing none of that. Because I was a street light kid, which meant I had to come in the house before the street lights came on. I couldn't go to my friends' parties. I didn't have all the fun everybody had, but it was for my good. And I didn't learn that till later. But fast forward, Howard University sends an application. I filled that thing out faster than you could say lickety split. And I was accepted to Howard University and I was on my way. But let me tell you how green I was. I got there and I didn't even know I was going to a historically Black college and university. I was like, I ain't never seen this many Black people in my life. It was scary, but I was excited all at the same time. That's how green I was. I ain't always had it together. And I'm gonna put a pin in that for a second and say, all of the people that you look at, you see the results, but you don't see the 19, the 20, the 30 years that went into it. You don't see where they came from. Because some of the people that you're looking at, you think they're doing better than you are. They're not doing better than you are. Some of y'all will get that tomorrow. They just look like it. So we fast forward. I'm a first generation college student. We didn't have a lot, but we had a lot of love. I remember being at Howard University every single semester, sitting in the floor of the financial aid office crying because I didn't have enough. There was never enough money. There was never enough resources. My mom was working her butt off. She had remarried at this time, but we still didn't have a lot. And I didn't understand how any of this worked. So I would cry to go to school. And at some point, I decided it's more important to graduate than to graduate from Howard. So I moved to Georgia. I started waiting tables. I go back to school. I decide, you know what, I'm going to go to medical school. Because what do you do when you're young and you have these big dreams and you have these big visions? You dream big and you say, you know what, I'm going to be different. I'm going to break the mold. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to medical school. My mother and I fly out to California, y'all. We get out there and we're looking at the University of California at San Diego, and I'm touring the campus and I want to go to medical school. But then I got back home only to find out that I was pregnant. So here I am, unmarried, about to be a single mother. I'm supposed to break the mold, remember? But I've been through that too, y'all. And instead of going to medical school, I ended up going to law school. I ended up marrying a wonderful man, my husband, Derek. He's an attorney as well. And we built a wonderful life together and a wonderful career. But things started to happen. Life started to happen. I started to look at stuff a little bit different because I started to see people who looked like my son, people who looked like my children, my cousins, my neighbors in trouble. Black boys were being locked up time and time and time again. And I had to figure out, how was I going to get in front of it? So it was put in my spirit to one day start a nonprofit called Beyond the Block. And that nonprofit is designed to get in front of the situation and to go ahead and expose some of those kids who live in these neighborhoods and these situations to something different so they can have a different outcome. Because you got to understand that it's about exposure, y'all. But then something else dropped in my spirit. And that was, in order to save our sons, we first have to save our sisters. So let me explain to you what Elevated is all about. Ladies, we are teachers, we are business owners, we are lawyers, we're doctors, we're astronauts, we're media moguls. Come on, somebody, for Oprah. We're senators, we're governors, we're vice presidential candidates, y'all. We're first ladies, we're millionaires, we're billionaires. Yet we are broken. Yet we are tired, yet we are abused, yet we are disrespected and dismissed and overlooked and underpaid and overworked. We are emotionally and physically and spiritually on the verge of bankruptcy, y'all. Now, I know some of my sisters out there, y'all done uncrossed y'all legs on me, and y'all done shifted your seat and did like this. But let me tell you something. For all of you ladies who got your act together, who are saying, I'm not broken, she ain't talking about me, I ain't hurt, she ain't talking about me. Here's what I need us as women to get in our spirit. If one of us is broken, we're all broken. If one of us is hurt, we're all hurt. Until we get that in our spirit, we're not going to be able to come together, y'all. Because see, here's what happened. Here's the cycle. That hurt woman raises a hurt child, who raises a hurt boy, who becomes a hurt man. That broken woman will raise a broken boy, who becomes a broken man. And then the system continues to cycle itself over and over and over again. So the question becomes, if we're the first ladies and the vice presidential candidates and the millionaires and the billionaires, how can we also be broken, tired, abused, and disrespected? How can these two realities coexist? How can we be elevated and relegated all at the same time? Guys, the definition of elevate means a higher place or a higher position. And where there's position, there's opposition. I want y'all to remember that. Where there's position, there's opposition. That means that your elevation is going to come with some resistance. Somebody's going to come for you. It's going to be a battle in some area of your life simply because of the position and the authority that God has given you in this season. Some of you guys who are out there in the marketplace, you already know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about because every single day you have to fight not only among ourselves with women, but you got to fight the gender gap. You got to fight the wage gap. You got to fight with men. You got to fight with every single thing just because you're elevated, because you're in position. This series, Elevation Evenings, is about the fact that, y'all, we got to, as women, get ready for war. And that first battlefield is our mind, y'all. Doesn't the enemy come after our mind first? So here's the deal, and I'm going to close this out and bring Tanya and them back on because I really just wanted to share with you a little bit of what you're in for over the next couple of weeks, months, years, however long we're doing this elevated series. But here's the thing that I want you guys to think about. What happens when you elevate your thinking? When you elevate your thinking, you can look down on things from a different perspective. You can get a bird's eye view. So think about the fact that when you're in a fight, you can't see the punches coming. But when you elevate your thinking, you can look down into that situation and see it from a completely different perspective because you can not only see the enemy, but you can also see where God is winning, even in the midst of that situation. So the first thing we're going to do is elevate our thinking. But here's the deal. When you elevate your thinking, you start to see things differently. I talked about all the things we are as women. I talked about all the wonderful things we've accomplished as women. But y'all, that's the fruit. What about the root? See, the fruit is that thing that we're producing. It's the thing that everybody sees. It's the thing that everybody glorifies, right? Everybody wants to look at the fruit and the shiny apple and the fuzzy peach and all of those things. But what happens when you bite into that bad boy? It's going to tell the truth every single time. What's inside of the thing comes from the root. So there are some things that we're going to have to get to the root of the issue of because the apple can look good on the outside but still be rotten on the inside because there's something that was planted in the seed at an early age that's rooted deep within you that still runs like poison through our veins. Maybe it was a teacher who told you wasn't going to be nothing. Maybe it was the abuse. Maybe it was the abandonment. It's so many different things that we go through. Being a girl born into this world and then being a young lady, an adolescent, dealing with challenges of identity and things like that, and then becoming a woman, a wife, and a mother. There's something about the root. And we're going to have to pull some roots out, and we're going to have to clean some things up in order to elevate. So these elevated evenings, guys, it's not going to always be easy. It's not going to always be breezy, but it's going to take us to the next level. So I want to close with this. I think about the civil rights movement, y'all. And I think about the fact that we as women have withstood the water, right? But we've also withstood the White House. From water to White House, elevated, y'all. There have been situations where we have refused to stand up. Y'all know Rosa Parks. She refused to stand up, and it inspired a movement. But there have been other situations where we refuse to sit down, the women's suffrage. That's why we have the right to vote today. Guys, the whip, the water, the White House, and even Windsor Palace, y'all. Women are doing their thing. But in this season, y'all, it's a different call in our life. It's time for us to band together. It's time for us to get it in order because things are out of order. So it's time for us mothers, us sisters, us women to come together and elevate our thinking so that we can take that young man and put him back in his rightful place, which is up here. So to save our sons, we're going to first have to save our sisters. So welcome to Elevation Evenings, and we look forward to the journey. Back to you guys, Latonya and Ray.
Hello. Hello.
Hey guys,
Can you ladies hear me?
we can hear you.
Okay, it just went blank for a minute. I'm sorry about that. Oh my gosh. Whew, goodness. Where do we go from here? That was, oh my gosh, that was beautiful. Bernadette, we appreciate you. And you know what touches my heart is that people don't understand. This is not a sister that just talks. I mean, if y'all follow her on her Facebook, her IG, this isn't a lady that just talks. She is a doer. I mean, all day we have been to conference apps. We have been to a lot of different women events, but this pretty lady is just not. She has done things that nobody know about, because when she blesses people, she blesses them in secret. She don't sit to the synagogues. She don't do none of that. This is a lady that can talk because she has been an awesome blessing. And later on, we're going to tell you guys more about her. I think every young lady, old lady, middle-aged lady, they need a Bernadette, a sister Bernadette in their life. And we appreciate you so much. I had to say that because it's so many of us saying, oh, quit hating on each other and we need to stick together. But Bernadette, we're not sticking together anymore. It's all about show and tell. Show and tell. And even in the word, it says you don't let your brother or your sister come before a fall. And a lot of us talk all day long, but they're not doing anything. You understand? But you are standing, and you are standing in the gap for us. And you are doing so much, even in the community. People won't even understand, but y'all gonna get to know our sister. I'm sorry. I can just keep going on and on because I'm so, oh my goodness, I am so elated right now. I'm so excited. Ray, I'm sorry. Did you want to talk about it, sister?
I mean, everything you said is, the truth about Bernadette. And what's amazing is that you can see your strength, which helps people. So when listening to you, you said you have to elevate your thinking, right? So me, I always had a problem with confidence. I know people probably don't believe it, but when you say elevate your thinking, there's people out there who don't even know how to go that far because they don't believe in themselves to even think in an elevated way. So I know that for me, that hit me. That hit my heart. So what would you tell people out there who they don't have the confidence to even think that way?
I would tell them to tune in to Elevation Evenings, because that's one of the things that we're going to dive into. And that's the confidence is a whole segment. And it goes back to the root, because there's something that happened in your life that made you feel like you weren't confident. There's something that happened in your life that maybe made you feel like you weren't worthy. And a lot of us have had those experiences, and through our testimonies and through our trusting one another and through our transparency, that's what's going to set somebody free. So when we talk about emancipating people, we're emancipating one another because we've walked through that walk, and every journey we've gone through is just meant to pull somebody else through. So if we can have a conversation with somebody who's super confident, I promise you there was an area in their life that they have been insecure in before, but they found the secret sauce to be able to get to that next level. And I'm going to tell you right now, my secret sauce is Jesus. My secret sauce is the Holy Spirit, yes. Because there are some things that only He could walk me through. In addition to that, He also assigned some people to me in the seasons when I needed them to be able to talk me through and walk me through and be able to deal with that situation head on. So my confidence doesn't come from me. My strength doesn't come from me. None of it comes from me. Because if it was all dependent on me, we wouldn't even be sitting here talking right now. We would not be sitting here talking right now. I have to rely every single day on the strength that He gives me, because it's a battle, y'all. We go in that closet every single morning, and it's a battle between flesh and it's a battle between spirit. And you just pray the spirit overtakes you when you come out every single day, because if the flesh is winning, then the Lord ain't winning.
Yes. This is exciting. I mean, this is going to reach people and heal people. I mean, it's going to heal us, and it's going to heal everyone else. So this is definitely amazing.
And I see,
yes. And Bernadette, I'm sorry. Go ahead, honey.
Now, I just looked at a question that popped up on the screen, and it says, Roseanne says, "What do you say to the ladies who feel like they're alone in the battle?" And I can't read the rest of it, but here's what I'm gonna tell you: you're never alone, because if you look at even the footprints in the sand, y'all already know where I'm going with this. You are never alone. Through every tough situation, you only saw that one set of footprints is because that's when He was carrying you. And when God has your back, I'm telling you, when He has your back, it doesn't matter what's coming against you. I was talking to one of my sisters today about the fact that, you know, recently I was in a situation where I was like, I feel like I'm not being appreciated. I feel like I'm being persecuted. I feel like I'm being misunderstood. But I had to look back and say, even in that situation, God was using me. He was using me to show something to somebody else, and it wasn't even about me. And a lot of the times when we go through these situations where we're feeling alone, or we go through these situations where we're feeling overwhelmed, we have to elevate our thinking and look at it from another perspective and say, okay, I need to remove myself and look at this situation, because maybe there's something I'm supposed to learn in this. Maybe the lesson isn't really about me. It could be about somebody else. And then I just have to say, thank you for using me in that situation. Because sometimes I can get caught up in self and think it's about me. It's about my hurt. It's about my pain. But sometimes it literally has nothing to do with us. It's meant to grow us. It's meant to strengthen us. It's meant to reveal stuff to us. And the stuff that's being revealed to us isn't always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be pleasant. But when you get to the other side, there's a promise that awaits you if we continue to be faithful and allow Him to lead us and to look at things from a different perspective, y'all. From a different perspective. That's what elevation is all about.
Yes. And we love you, Roseanne. Was it Roseanne?
Yes.
We love you, sweetie, and we with you. We holding you up in prayer too. And you know what, Bernadette, I wanted to know, so what do you have friends? Because a lot of women out here are being drained as well. When you have girlfriends that are takers other than
that's an entire segment, to be honest with you. That right there is an entire segment, because what that really goes back to is I went through a year, and I'll tell a little bit of the story, but I went through a year, and I watched this segment. Who's the producer, the lady who did that show? She writes all these fantastic shows, Grey's Anatomy and How to Get Away with Murder. I don't remember her name. Y'all help me and type it in the chat if you remember who I'm talking about. She did a TED Talk where she talked about the year of saying yes. And in that year, she just said yes to everything, and she watched doors open for her. She watched herself be free. So I had a year of saying yes, but then the following year, it was Shonda Rhimes. Thank you so much. But the following year, I had a year of saying no. That was the hardest year for me because telling people no is difficult because we want what? We want to be liked, we want to be loved, we want to be approved, we want to be validated. But when I learned how to tell people no, the truth of the matter started to be revealed to me. Because sometimes you say yes, 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 and everybody's around, right? But your true friends start to show up when you start saying no. The people who really have your back start to show up when you start saying no. And I realized that as I began to say no, I started to shed some things and I started to shed some people around me because your time is super valuable. So when you see that you're around people who are just, take, but you still give, you have to ask for the spirit of discernment and the strength to be able to say no. And when you say no, whether or not that person really loves you is going to shine through. Because there are some people who are just around for what I could do for them. And then when you stop doing, they stop being around. Okay, with no. If you say no, you might lose some things. But those are probably the things you need to lose in this season anyway. Because we aren't supposed to be assigned to everybody. Just be very clear. That's a self-esteem issue that even I had to deal with. We're not supposed to be liked by everybody. We're not supposed to be friends with everybody. There are people that are assigned to you in this season, and you can't even get to them because you're still walking with the wrong crowd.
Can't even get to them.
Wow.
Can't even.
That's good. That's good.
Because all the takers are blocking your view. You can't even get to them.
Wow. That's the truth. And it's draining.
That's good.
It's draining when you have people.
Right.
That's a sign right there. When people are pulling on you and it becomes draining, you're supposed to be able to give with good spirit and feel good when you're giving. But when you have people who just keep pulling it and pulling, it makes you almost think something's wrong with you because all of a sudden you want to stop giving and you're not even that person. Right. You're a giver, but then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, I think they're taking advantage of me now. I think now you watch their every move, So
wow.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Ray, because we have to be very careful that we don't allow the actions of others to change who we are.
Yes.
And it'll make us be like, I don't want to do nothing for nobody else. When other people are deserving other people are deserving of our giving. So we have to be very careful with that and say, okay, no, let me break this thing down. Let me look at the situation different. It's this one person. It's not these 10 people. And sometimes we have to do an audit of our relationships. You got to do an audit of your relationships and figure out, God is telling me to go over here, but this person is dragging me over here. And this person is making me act out of character. So are you in control of that relationship? Probably not. Maybe we're not supposed to be in control of it, but the question is, are you in control of yourself? Because if that person can make you act out of character, there's something that needs to shift. Because if you were called to be loved, then you're still supposed to be loved. If you're called to be a giver, you're still supposed to be a giver. Right. But at the same time, he didn't call any of us to be a fool. We can see when things are not in alignment with how they're supposed to be in those relationships. So we're going to talk about that too.
Ooh. I'm excited about this. There's so much hurt. I mean, no, it's true. People need to be healed, and they don't know where to start, but we're going to show them where to start, right, Bernadette? Because it's about to get real. It's about to get deep. Yeah. I'm excited about it.
Yes. Because we needed this. We had to bring B in because that's the nickname I call our sis. But we had to bring this in because, like Bernadette said, many women are suffering behind the beauty, the clothes, and a lot they don't have nobody to come and talk to, and I think all my ladies are beautiful. And I was saying earlier, we can do all things through Christ that strengthen us. we have to just get that confident back, that confidence. And I know for me, I stay in the closet. That's a secret place, because I know when man lets you down, God will never let you down, ladies. And you guys are beautiful in the sight of God. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, there's nothing, but it's so that pull on us and drain on us. We going through stuff, with our children, trying to figure it all out, as I was saying earlier. Us women are doing a lot of stuff. So ladies out there, cool. Don't stop. You can't stop. It's somebody waiting on you. Turn their life around. Thank you. Hallelujah. Yes, you're going to turn their life around, and they are will not give up. It's only one way for you to look, and that's up. I'm so serious. Like, it's jumping with joy. So I need y'all to live again, breathe again, okay? And what do they have to do, Bernadette? I mean, when you have toxic people in your life, what do you do about that? Because a lot of them, they just don't know how to move on it, and that can slow you down as well.
It can, and
Go ahead.
can slow you down, but you have to do a detox. And when I say do a detox, and we'll talk about this. There's so much we got to talk about, and I know we can't talk about it all today, but you're going to have to do a detox. And sometimes when you do a detox, what happens? You start to shed some things, right? You get into a place. If you've ever done a detox and maybe you did a fast for 3 days, if you really pay attention, you notice that your senses are heightened. You notice that you think with a lot more clarity, right? You notice that you can hear what you're supposed to hear, not only in the natural, but in the spirit. So you're going to have to do a detox. And so we can talk about it. You got to do a detox. And here's the thing, too. This is a whole other topic. Ladies, don't be scared to spend time with yourself. Some of us, we're so busy running to and fro that when we get home and we sit down and we're by ourselves, we don't even know what to do with ourselves because we don't want to deal with ourselves. So we're in a season where we're going to have to deal with ourselves. We're going to have to look in the mirror and have conversations with ourselves that are long overdue, to ask ourselves questions that we don't really want to ask because they even make us uncomfortable, and to see things that we don't want to see and say, you know what? I'm about tired of you doing X, Y, Z, and it's time for us to get to the root and stop playing around with what looks like good fruit and really deal with that issue. It's time for detox. It's time for us to pull some things up. It's time for us to plant some new seeds. It's time for us to elevate. So I know we're past our time, so I'm going to hand it back to my wonderful host for tonight. But I love you all. I love you all. And I'm looking forward to our talks. I'm looking forward to our talks.
Yes, and we love you too.
We love you so much. We love you. We appreciate you saying yes to the call. And you guys can get your questions in. And they will be answered. And Bernadette, before we close out, can you please give everyone all of your media sites where they can reach you and contact you?
On Instagram, it's at the BC Wright, TheBCWRIGHT. And on the website is also going to be the BC Wright, that's me. TheBCWRIGHT. So I look forward to seeing you guys. And of course, if you're on Facebook, you can just click on my page and you'll find me there. So look forward to seeing you guys here at Elevation Evenings.
Yes, and it will be Mondays at 8:30. Roseanne Moreno, she said the time is not, don't go. So join us next Monday at 8:30, and we will definitely we'll be back with more to come. So excited.
Yes.
We love you guys.
Yes, and we also want to give a shout out to all our sponsors. Mixed Chicks, you guys, don't forget, you got to go get that Mixed Chicks. Okay, they having a great sale.
20%
okay,
off.
we want to give a shout out to Pro Boss. Hello, oh, I'm sorry, Pro Boss Enterprises. We're going to give a shout out to Fall Nation. I want to thank each and every one of you. What, Ray? Tell them what to do.
Keep following us on Facebook at It's Your Girlzz, and On Instagram, Let's Get Personal with Lana. And on YouTube, Let's Get Personal with Latonya and Ray. And we'll see you next Monday, 8:30, Facebook Live. We'll be here. We love you guys.
Celebrity Media TV, you guys.